everybody, it's Rhonda here from Nelson Soapery. I am so sorry, but I actually did the video the wrong way. So I thought, look, I needed to go back and fix it all up. But anyway, hopefully you can see me and everything looks amazing on here now. So it is time for our Sunday chat, and I do know that a lot of you might be sleeping and getting up in the morning, but that's okay. Let's get going with our Sunday chat. So today I thought, look, I'm going to just go through a few things because lots of you do ask me lots of questions during the week, and I thought, look, I'm going to just answer the Q&As that have been given to me during the week. So today may be a little bit shorter, but that's okay. Because today I am going off to my daughter's birthday in the afternoon. So Emily is turning 25, so I will be going off to that. But anyway, we are going to get going with the questions. So welcome everybody. I hope, like I said, you're having a lovely Sunday. It's Sunday here in Australia at 11 a.m. But if you're in the US, Canada or other places, it's probably the evening, the day before. So now we're going to talk about waxes. A lot of people ask me, why do I use a wax? What's the reason for it? Like, why did I change from 464 to what I use now, which of course is I use the Pure Candle Supplies coconut wax. There's a couple reasons why. Now, as much as, sorry, I'm going to just get rid of something off the screen that is very annoying, but anyway, hopefully you can see still. So one reason that I did change my wax from 464 is very good, but the one thing I'll tell you is sometimes you can just get a bad batch, and that really drives me crazy. So that's why I swapped from 464. And also the coconut wax, there's a couple good things about it. Number one, it's a little bit shiny on the top, which I really do like that. It gives it a little bit more of a shine. Oh, hello, lovely. How are you, Exotic Beauty? Brenna, how are you, darling? I hope you're doing super duper well. Yeah, I've been told a lot. Brenna's just saying that her bell didn't go off. And I have actually been told that lately. But I don't know if I'm right, Brenna, but I did actually hear that what's actually happening at the moment is if you're in Australia, your videos are generally shown to Australians. If you're in America, they're shown to Americans and so on. So I don't know if that's true, but I have generally heard that's sort of the change that's going to happen. So who knows? But anyway, that's what I have heard. But onto 464 again. So like I said, the coconut wax that I'm using, there's a few reasons why I really do love it. Like I said, it's got the silky shine, and one thing I've definitely noticed, it holds the scent better. 100% it holds the scent better. It's only my opinion, of course. As all of you know, a disclaimer, this is all of my own thoughts and my own, learning and reviewing products for myself. So this is for me. Of course, you must test and do everything else for yourself. And also, coconut wax, it burns slower, so it gives you a longer burn, which, of course, makes your customers much, much happier as well. Yeah, so I'm not sure, Brenna. Yeah, so but I have heard, like I said, that that is going to be a change that's happening, but I mean, I might be wrong, like I said, but I hope not. You can still see my videos, make sure you subscribe, so then you'll be able to see the videos. I'm pretty sure you are, though. Hello, Flames and Suds. How are you from Arizona? Welcome to our Sunday chat, all the way from Australia, Melbourne, of course. And like I said, it's just around about 11 a.m. On a Sunday in Australia. So happy birthday to my darling daughter, Emily. It is her birthday in a couple of days. But tonight we are going out to have a little bit of a dinner with Em tonight at a seafood restaurant. So that will be nice because I love seafood, but my husband does not eat it, so we'll see how he goes. So like I said, we've talked a little bit already about, we've talked, like I said, just about, why I've changed to coconut soy. And one thing I'm going to tell you, if you're using Pure Candle Supplies coconut soy wax, which is the one I only use, I will tell you, you need to test everybody, because a lot of people say, oh, well, I couldn't get it to work. It was lumpy on top. That just means your process isn't there. It is, honestly, you must keep the temperatures exact or it will not work. the way you want it to work. So please make sure that you're really using the right temps. And I pour at 43 degrees. That is Celsius. If you want to know what that is in Fahrenheit, just go and Google it. It will tell you. Just say convert Celsius to Fahrenheit and it will tell you. But 43 degrees is definitely the Goldilocks perfect, pouring temps for coconut soy wax from Pure Candle Supplies. And do remember, every supplier may have different products. So just because it's coconut soy here, it doesn't mean it might be the same overseas. So that's what I mean. You need to sort of test it. But I personally love it. My new range is all with that. I don't use 464 at all anymore. And if you want a real shiny look, nobody wants to hear this, but I'm going to tell you, the paraffin is what does it. The paraffin holds the colour better and so on, but I don't use paraffins at all. But I have had a little play with a paraffin, and definitely that would be my suggestion. So now, one thing that people ask me is, can they actually use like 464, or can they use, a soy wax just to do their melts? My answer is no, you really can't, unless you add beeswax or something else to help it keep hard, because it's too soft. But if you want to use, a really good one, I say use a pillar wax or a tart wax. I personally use the 464 gold. It's called Golden Wax Tart Wax. That's the one that I use for my melts, and it's very good. You can't use coconut soy for that because it's too soft, and you would need to add a hardener to it, and a hardener is like beeswax or some sort of wax. I have seen people put cocoa butter in. I personally wouldn't, so I'm not sure how that would work, but because it might get a little bit hot, because that does get quite hot. But anyway, that's a bit of a thought, isn't it? So now let's go into talking a tiny little bit about soap as well. How do you actually get your soap harder? So if you've decided, okay, you want to do vegan, how are you going to get the soap harder? Because as we all know, if you use palm oil, that's how you get a really hard, creamy, thick bar of soap. And I will give you some breakdowns if you want to use palm, how you can actually break it down and make a really easy recipe that's a fantastic recipe. But basically, if you're using, like myself, I only use shea butters, cocoa, olive oils, sweet almond oil, rice bran oil. Basically, using those ones is a vegan soap because I want mine to be vegan. So that means you will need to add 1 to 3% of sodium lactate, or you can also add a spoon of salt and you can put it into your lye when it's hot so it all dissolves. But that's my suggestion if you're trying to get your bar harder. I always put 1% of sodium lactate in all of my recipes. But now I'm sorry I'm looking down, but I do have a breakdown in case you want to make your own soaps. So now let's talk about one with palm oil. Make sure it's certified palm, of course, but because there's a lot of controversy, that's why I don't use it, and generally my market just don't want palm oil, but I have made soap. I used to make soap with it in the start. So if you use a 30% palm oil, 30% butter/coconut oil, find your mix that you like in that, and 30% olive oil and 10% a different oil like sweet almond or whichever one you want to use. So that's generally a really good, a base for, one with palm. So if you want to try that one, that's what I suggest. If you're doing vegan, this is my suggestion for your vegan soap. 20% coconut oil. Make sure it's 76 coconut in your soap calc if you're putting it through that. 30% olive oil, 20% shea, 15% cocoa, and 5% mango butter is a really good one, and 10% of something else, which usually is about a liquid oil. So that's to give you a rough idea for vegan. And like I said, add your sodium lactate. It is a salt-derived product, or you can add salt in. So hopefully that kind of helps just kind of get you off the ground a little bit if you're a bit confused on how to make a vegan soap or how to make a palm soap with a really good recipe. Now, one thing too that I've been asked quite a bit actually about this is bath bombs. Like, how long does your bath bomb actually last? Your bath bomb should last, look, 7 months, I'd say 7 to 9 months is fine for a bath bomb to last. Sometimes they can last longer, but make sure you put cream of tartar in. If you don't put cream of tartar, they're not going to stay hard and they will start to be terrible. And if you have a house that's an older home, like I live in a home that's almost 100 years old, my home, is, like when you get an old home, often they sort of get that damp problem. And one part of my home is, so if I leave bath bombs in there, they will not keep well at all. So all my bath bombs are in a, hi Karen, how you going, darling? All my bath bombs are kept in the studio, which is always at around the 23 degrees Celsius temperature. So that way, the temperature's pretty good here for bath bombs, and, but eventually my bath bombs all going to be boxed. Look, for anyone that's going on my site, because I've had a few people saying, oh, everything's sold out. I know it's sold out. I'm sorry. I am definitely getting on to getting new products up, but because I'm doing the packaging, it's just taking so long. So I'm sorry if, you're ordering things and a lot of things are sold out. And now, because we do sell wholesale, a lot of our products go off to wholesale. So I do apologize if you're trying to get a product and I'm sold out, but I promise they are coming back. I've been working all week on new products. So good morning, Paula. How are you? Lovely. I hope you're doing super, super well. So yeah, as I said, bath bombs, usually, anything 7-9 months, sometimes 12 months, a bath bomb. But do remember, if it sits near the sun or anything, it might lose its colour if you're using water-soluble dyes, because they are sun sensitive. Oh, my new packaging, Karen, looks good. Thank you, darling. Yeah, well, hopefully, I'm thinking in maybe 2 weeks, I think like the start of May, I should actually get my first lot of packaging, and they will be all the shower steamers. So fingers are crossed. I paid for it, ordered it. It's in production right now. And I'm very, very excited, but also very, very nervous. Oh, and I can show you a trick. No one else has seen this yet, but I'll show you these. So these are going to be my new lip ones. So if you can see, it's my Fairy Floss one. They're my new lip balms. So I can show you a few. So they're going to change. You'll see them change this week. Watermelon is going to be my other one. We will have a lavender. So this is going to be the lavender one as well. And there is a coffee one. I know it sounds funny, but I sell a lot of coffee. Because my coffee one's not really just coffee. It's like vanilla coffee. So that's what this one is as well. So yeah, so we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Christmas, I am going to bring one that's called Dancing Berries. And that is going to be across my range. So that's my special one for Christmas. And I will have some trays. And you will also notice, you will have seen the trays that I actually showed you. I think, and you'll see them on my site. So it's like an oval tray. They are going to have my business logo, which is a heart with Nelson in the middle. They are going to have that etched into every single one at the front. So it'll be to the side at the front. I wasn't sure if I was going to do that, but so many people have said, we actually want your name on it. So anyway, so that's why. And all my wholesale clients said, look, it just makes it look more luxurious. People want your brand. So I'm like, okay. Hello, Lynn. How are you, darling? Welcome to Sunday Chat. We are just getting into a few questions. So hopefully these questions help everyone. Now, another thing too, people say to me, with shower steamers, can I do it without the menthol crystals? You can. At the start, I said, look, I'm not going to use the menthol. But I will tell you it's much cheaper if you do use the menthols. Oh, you like trying to do colours on your lip balms? Yeah, my lip balms inside are all white. So, yeah, so you can see that they're all just like the natural colour inside. You can put colours, of course. I just don't really. Oh, thank you, Lynn. I am starting to feel better, but I'll tell you, Lynn, I mean, look, I'm nearly 51 and I'm actually shocked how long this has taken me to feel better. Like, really, it's taken me 4 weeks and I'm still coughing sometimes at night time. So, I don't know why, but I just, couldn't get over it. Maybe I'm an old lady now. So That's what my daughter seen one grey hair in my hair, and she said, "Oh my goodness, Mum, I think there's a grey." I can't see it still, but anyway, I said I'm nearly 51. Does it matter? You know, I mean, I'm not one of those pretentious people, so I really don't care less. But anyway, like I said, let's get on to the shower steamers now. So you can make them without the menthol, but that tiny little bit of menthol that you're going to use, I promise you, everyone, I really promise you, it will save you money on essential oils, because the menthol is kind of what you want, because it helps, you know, number one, it helps kind of spread the aroma. So if you're using lavender, for instance, and also, you know, it clears the nose, and that's kind of what people want. So I definitely suggest you do that. I actually use the menthols, and what I do is I put some, what's it called again? I did write it down because I knew I was going to forget this. Isopropyl. So I put a tiny bit of isopropyl, like a teaspoon, and then I put half a teaspoon of the menthol crystals, but I make sure I heat up the isopropyl, and then it will melt down the crystals too. Oh, yeah, it takes a while to get better, Karen. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, lovely. Definitely noticed, that's for sure. So, yeah, and with your essential oils, you know, when we're talking about shower steams, you don't need to add a massive amount. You know, usually anything from 1 to 5%, I would say. Usually I only add 2%. You don't need more than that, you know. And please, everyone, please put your warnings on. You need to have warnings on the back so that people understand what everything means, because that's the one thing I've definitely noticed, you know, with a lot of products that people make and label themselves, that they don't put the warning on. It's important to put warnings, even if it's just a simple warning that says, if redness or irritation occurs, please discontinue use and rinse with clear water and seek advice as required. That's a standard line that you could say, you know, like that's just standard. But make sure you put something like that, or patch testing required, or something like that, because everyone has different skins and different allergies. So it's important to cover yourself and make sure that you're following the directions of everything, because otherwise your insurance will be invalid. So that is super duper important as well. Oh, you use the shower steamers, Karen. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I think I've used two. I've not really used them, but I definitely want to. And I think maybe because I was getting a bit sick, maybe I might start, because in Australia we're in autumn, so we're going into winter soon. And it will start to get cold, even though everyone thinks Australia's super hot. It does get pretty cold, about 7 degrees Celsius in 7 to 10 degrees in winter. We don't get snow where I am. There's only small parts of Australia get snow. Most don't get snow. But anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about with the shower steamers. So that is super, super important. Oh, and now let's get on to building business, because I do get a lot of questions about, you know, how did I actually build, you know, my audience? How did I get people liking me on YouTube? And, you know, just kind of those sort of questions. Or how did I build up Instagram? Honestly, the turtle wins the race, everyone. The tortoise, you know, the slow tortoise that slowly creeps along, and he just slowly goes up the mountain. That's the one that I definitely suggest. Just slowly add videos. All I did at the start is I just kept adding videos that I thought were valuable. I thought people would like. And that's definitely what I can say as well. So, yeah, definitely, you know, if you're trying to do a YouTube channel, or even if you're just doing reels on different platforms, the thing is, you just never know when one video is going to take off. And I did a video on label making, and I'm always shocked how many people watch it and comment on it. Like, it's had tens of thousands of views, and for a small channel like mine, that's a lot. And I make, you know, like when I make my money off YouTube, a lot of it is from videos like that just keep going forward. So it might be an old video I'm making more money on than a new video. So that's really, really important, everyone, to just remember that it does take time. And it took me 100 videos before I made any money at all on YouTube. So I think it was 101 videos before I was monetized. So it's really important to know. Oh, thank you, Karen. That's nice. She's just saying that the videos have really helped. Oh, hello, Teresa. Yes, you have made my live, my darling. We are just having a talk about lots and lots of things. Hello, Joy. Welcome, lovely, to our Sunday chat. So, yeah, so like I said, trying to build up your social media is really hard. Look, either you can pay someone. I don't agree with paying someone at all, because when you pay somebody, the people that are coming to your channel, like if you pay them, they're not really people that are interested. They've been paid to come. So I suggest just trying to make it really organic, making people just like you. They're going to follow you if they like you and your content's good. And for me, I decided all along I didn't want a super polished, company. Well, not company, but YouTube channel. I wanted it to be for every just average person wanting to try and make it. I wanted to show people that you didn't have to have heaps of money. You could just be a normal mum and you could slowly build up and build a company. So that was where, my whole idea was really. And I do think it has started to work. And, it's taken a long time. I don't know whether I am at that now, but maybe tomorrow I'll be about 11,000 on YouTube. But it doesn't matter how many followers you have. Sometimes you can have, 1,000 followers and earn more money than somebody with 50,000, because it's about how many people watch it and the ads that go on it from people watching. So that's what's important. It's actually not to do the video so much, but it's really, you want people to watch the video lots of times, not 50 times. And look, I get a lot of videos where I only get 300 people watching that or 300 views. But then I get videos that have 20,000 or 50,000 views. So, don't worry about that. Just slowly build up and decide kind of how you want your company to look. So if you want it to be really luxurious from the start, make it all look really branded. But for me, like I said, I went down the avenue I went down, and I always thought if I earned enough money, I'd get professional packaging. But I can really only afford to do one packaging a month. That's that, and honestly, I earn most of my money from Patreon and YouTube. Without that, I definitely could not do packaging. But lots of people have said to me, I would buy so much of your stuff, I just want it in the proper box, which is hard. But that's wholesale companies, what they want. And I will tell all of you, if you're not doing well at the moment, things are very tough. I mean, in Australia, Trade Square, who was our biggest platform for wholesale, they were equivalent to Fair in Australia. They were very, very big. They have folded, so they're no longer there. They are just there to finalise orders and payments, but then they are closed. Also, Trada, who is the next one, they have also folded this week as well. That's another wholesale platform in Australia. So from anyone that was buying from me from those platforms, just go over to Fair. I've always been on Fair, and you can get my products on Fair, and you will start to see more of them and more new products. So on my site, you're going to start to definitely see a lot of products changing. And if you want ideas, I don't mind. You can go to my site and check it out, which is www.nelsonsopery.com. There is no AU, just .com. And you can see what I've done, and maybe it can inspire you to do your own, your own style of that. And I definitely suggest, and the mistake I made at the start is I didn't have very good hero banners. And I also didn't really have a very good sort of backdrop. So I definitely suggest trying to get a really good backdrop. And that means, all your pictures at the back, whether they're white, black, a subtile, whatever, just try and take your pictures on the same background. They look more uniformed. And I've had lots of people reach out and tell me that they think my site looks really amazing lately. And I think it's just I've spent a lot of time trying to get that off the ground. So if you're, struggling with your site, trying to get it uniform or cohesive, I definitely suggest that maybe you need to just look at those little things, is your background's good, and so on. Oh, thank you, Judy. How are you, darling? I hope you're doing really good. Oh, you like the inspiration of the candles. Do you know what? I can't believe, I'm always shocked how many people love these candles. So I started making them because I wanted something that stood out a bit. And yeah, so it's going to be crazy. But for anybody in Australia, in Sydney, I think it is May the 19th. No, yes, it is May the 19th. I will be at Sydney. I'm helping my daughter at the Pride Festival. So if anyone is coming to that, I'm out actually helping my daughter who owns Honey Blue U. That is her company. So, yes. Can you let me know how to pay yourself? If I'm going to be honest, Teresa, I do not pay myself any money. I have never taken a wage. I'm hoping next year I will take a wage, but the reason I didn't is I've literally put every cent back in. I've probably spent over $100,000 now on products, things that I use, because of course we use things, sell them and whatever. But I'm telling you, I didn't have a loan. I didn't have money. When I say 100,000, that is because over the years, like I would have, sold that or made money. So I've just reinvested it all the time. So yeah, just don't have any loans, everyone, because you just don't know what's going to happen. You really don't know what's going to happen. And COVID taught me that, because I used to have a warehouse, and during COVID, when everything was locked down, I just couldn't keep paying for it because I was renting it. And I'll tell you, the real estates, they don't care. They will chase you for every dollar, which they did. To me, they literally chase you for every last cent. So if you're worried that you're not earning enough, do not go into a shop. Do not do any of that. Because even if you owe them $100, they'll just start charging you fee after fee. So, I really suggest, when it comes to earning money and trying to make this into a business, try and be strict with yourself and do not take out credit cards or loans, because that's when, things come undone. And I mean, none of us would have thought of COVID. And can I tell you, when I got my warehouse, you wouldn't believe it, I signed on. 3 weeks later, COVID hit. So I was so unlucky. I mean, really unlucky. And it was so stressful for me, like really stressful. So I'll never do that again. If I get a shop, honestly, I'm going to buy it. I don't want to have a lease ever again. That was just a nightmare. But on my property, I'm hoping in time to eventually put like a mini shop on the front. But we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, that's what you're trying to do, Teresa. Yeah, and I agree, darling. I mean, just try and put your money back into it, because, all these greedy real estates, they just love taking our money. So if you can work from home, everyone, stay at home. That's my advice, If you can, or even if you have a little shed at the back, a spare room, some kind of area that you can use. I've heard of lots of people building a little mini shed, like a tiny shed in their yard. So it definitely will help you as you go along. Now, another thing I get asked about Patreon, how does it work? I always thought everyone knew, but before I did Patreon, I didn't know how it worked. Patreon, basically, if you look at it this way, we've got YouTube, which lots of you are subscribers on YouTube. And then basically Patreon runs off YouTube, because then you can put the links into YouTube and so on. It's not the same company. It's totally different. But basically, a lot of people on YouTube will also go to Patreon. And then that means that they pay me each month. It might be $5 or it might be $99 a month. It depends on what people want. So you basically sign up for the tier that you want. So, for instance, the $99 tier means they get 2 personal Zoom 45-minute Zooms with me each month. And I teach them personally how to make something or how to formulate something. So that's basically how Patreon works. But you can choose all different levels. You might not need the Zoom. You may just decide, okay, I just, really want to get the recipes and stuff like that. So, but I still do give a lot of recipes on YouTube. So it's just a personal thing on what people want. But once you get more established, I think people really do want to pay for that. So the ladies that I'm teaching at the moment on the $99 one, I have 3 ladies. They're all saying they love it. They love the Zoom. They feel like they're actually, stepping up a little bit in their business. They get more knowledge. So I guess, that's kind of why you would pay for that. And also on YouTube, which I do have, which I'm slowly understanding it is I do have a members corner. So you'll see in the top of most of the videos it says join as a member, or at the top of my main YouTube, and then you can actually join that. And I can't remember the amounts. It might be $5 or $14, something like that. It's a couple levels, and then basically I just put blogs on. I'm going to start to put some recipes and some polls. And things like that. We're going to start to do a bit more on the YouTube one as well. So that's basically how that works, just in case you wanted to know. And if you wanted to do anything like that for yourself, you need to be able to do blogs and things like that. So, you need to just do, like I said, blogs, recipes, valuable information, maybe suppliers lists. On my Patreon, I will be coming up with I'm working on it at the moment. I've got like a candle, a soap, bath bomb, and so on. And they will all be, like your record keeping. So they're going to be a document that you fill out. So you would fill out, for instance, for the candle, the melt pull, how good it smelt, when it's lit, when it's not lit, all the temperatures, the percentages of fragrances you're using. But I'm going to be doing something like that that's really easy to read. It's easy to read, easy to understand, and just document and keep it for yourself. So I will be slowly adding those on. It's taken me a lot of time to work on them because, as lots of you know, I am actually, some days I go out to the big expos and help my daughter Emily with her company, Honey Blue U. So like I said, I will be in Sydney at the Pride Festival. I think it's the 19th and 20th of May. So you'll be able to see us. Just go and find the Honey Blue U stand, and you'll be able to see me helping my daughter. So it won't be my products. This will be my daughter's products, but I am making some candles for my daughter, and she'll be selling them at the Pride Festival. But it's not for me, it's for her company. So like I said, if you want to check that out, and you can also check out my daughter's company. She's extremely successful. She has a lot of followers. So you can check that out. Might give you ideas too, and that's honeyblueu.com. And she has her own store, and she's also on Etsy. I think on Etsy she's sold maybe 6,500 sales, I think. That's not products, that's actual sales. But anyway, like I said, it's good to check out all these companies and learn a little bit more. Now, I think we've come to an end on our Sunday chat. I hope it's been really valuable and it's been really helpful. So anyway, I hope you have an amazing day, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.